Hi everyone, this is Vivek Shrivastava and welcome to my channel Journey of an Entrepreneur. Today we have with us Devashish Samanta, who is the founder and CEO of Space and Tech Technologies. Um, Thank you for joining us, Devashish. Welcome to the channel. I'm sure we'll get a lot of interesting insights from you on your startup journey. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very great. Hope you're doing great too.
Yeah, I'm doing great. So, tell us a little bit about your background and your startup.
Okay, I'm an BTech graduate. Okay, in aerospace domain. For my side, I'm a system engineer, avionics engineer, and an embedded engineer. Basically to the avionics side of the aerospace industries. So this is small background of mine. So now I will continue with my company. Small background. So my company name is Space and Tech Engineering LLP. So we were incorporated last year. We deal in the three sector of aerospace domain, which is UAVs, CubeSats, and model rockets till now. And in that, we have three sectors of businesses to for level up with market. There is product development, there is manufacturing, and there is service providing to the aerospace industry. So this is the small brief of my company, and also we are registered in as a startup India. Also, we are ISO certified company. So yes, that's all about my company.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a lot that you've achieved there. How did your entrepreneurial journey start? And by that I mean, when did you realize that doing a job wasn't for you, but you wanted to do your own startup, your own company?
So whatever we study in aerospace, everyone wants to be like a scientist. For the first thing, come to an aerospace industry. Are you a rocket scientist? Are you related to some CubeSat or some space organization? So when we are doing our graduation, so we have come through a lot of struggles,
Right.
hustles due to COVID. Yes, okay. So during COVID, we have learned a lot of thing on entrepreneurship because it's got an opportunity to think on space industry, what space industry needs. So what it needs is expansion, booming. So I got an idea, like why can't we get into this industry? And as we know, startups get help through various organizations. You just need your educational power and the thinking power toward the space industry, and you can just get into the space industry and make it a boom. So this is the
Right.
small entrepreneurship journey I was been talking about, like how I would go into the entrepreneurship.
Did you not enjoy your employment time, like, or in the sense that you maybe found some frustrations there and you felt maybe you could do things better if you did it yourself? I know I had that feeling when I was doing my jobs, right?
Uh, yes, yes. So in graduation, we were doing works, and I was an employee too. So what was the main thing, as a entrepreneur, you always think something new.
Right,
And during the employment, you get files, and that we have to complete. And that's it. There is no expansion on that thing, and there is no other idea involved in it. So I would say, like, when I was an employee, it was a bit of like there was only files and there was a very limitation part. But whenever I started with this entrepreneurship, there is no limitations, and it's like a good thing toward us entrepreneurship, which I felt.
right. So this idea for this, for what you're doing, did that come to you in a flash, or did you have to spend a lot of time coming up with something, or, and the reason I'm asking is, I'm trying to help people who view this channel with coming up with an idea. I have a video just on that topic myself that provided as a lessons learned video. So, just a little curious on the idea side of this, because sometimes it takes a long time for a good idea to come to a person, right? So was that the case, or did it just come very quickly to you?
No, it doesn't come very quickly to me. So 1 year back, we are not incorporated. We were just thinking we need to be a space startup in India, like that. So we started as an educational part. Like student need to be educated. Like, yes, you can also be a rocket engineer without being in ISRO or in some good space industries.
Right.
Okay, so this was the first thing, and then we started as a education part. Then later we came to know, like, yes, we have a good capability to do something new. Then we started to research and making new products. Okay, so we started to making our own microcontroller boards for our CubeSats. Okay, so as
I'm
we
sorry,
grow, as we learn,
sorry to interrupt you. What is a CubeSat exactly?
CubeSat is a small satellite. The CubeSat means a cube, as
Right.
we know.
Fine. Yeah.
And CubeSat generally occurs in 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters. Okay,
Okay.
so everyone knows about satellites. It's about a feet by feet, but CubeSats are a small satellites and can be launched in a very small altitude from the ground level.
Really, but they will reach a high enough altitude to orbit.
Yes, yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
So if they're that small, what functionality do they have? Do they have a limited functionality, I suppose, or?
Yes, they have limited functionality, but they are good to study on how a satellite works in a very small scale.
Okay.
So, as you know, there are like now in India, there are n number of students who are making CubeSats by them own below the age of 18.
Really?
Can you
Wow.
believe? Yes, yes, yes. So, and there are I met some of the students there, like they are just started the schooling, like they are in 10 or 11th, and they have started making CubeSat by their own.
Wow.
So, it's like
You,
space industry is something.
yeah.
Just you need to push up.
Now, this was a long time ago. I'm sorry to interrupt. This was a long time ago, but when I was in 11th, 12th, I was making like radios, circuit boards as a, and that was cutting edge then. Wow.
and and yes, so I met some people, and it's like it's not that hard,
Oh,
but
really?
it should be encouraged,
Okay.
because these things are just placed in the home or somewhere in the shelf. It is
Yes.
not just encouraged.
No, but that was my next question. I mean, even if it's small, I think launching into orbit is going to be expensive because of the fuel factor, right?
Yes, yes. So this was the one thing. But now this space industry, what there are two type of rockets right now. So
Yes.
there are big rockets, okay, which are carrying the feet by feet or tons of satellites, and there are sounding rockets. Sounding rockets are just a normal rocket, but they doesn't go very high altitude. It can't reach moon, or it is
Right.
for only educational purposes. So there are many startups. The I will name some, like recently a Skyroot has sent their Vikram 1 rocket.
Really.
It was a sounding rocket. Okay. So in that they give opportunity for students to give their payloads. Payloads are nothing but their CubeSats
Right.
to launch them.
Hmm.
So startups are giving opportunity to the students. Like you
Wow.
can place them in the orbit
Nice.
at very minimal cost.
Yeah, and they probably send a bunch of them in one go, right? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah.
If it if it's a 10 by 10 by 10 centimeter and its a rocket is this much, you can send as many as of CubeSats
Right.
at very minimal price.
Wow. So once those CubeSats are up there, my first question actually is what height do they go to? How many like kilometers up?
Yes, yes, yes. So you you have to minimum go to the Leo Earth orbit. It's 150 kilometers above Earth level.
Uh huh.
So we can get a proper gravitational pull on that kilometer of radius.
Right.
So it will rotate, it will evolve in that thing.
Is it geosynchronous? Like it's
No,
or
geosynchronous is two up, and
I
Leo orbit
okay.
is two down.
Okay,
Okay,
got it,
Leo
got it.
orbit is a first layer of the satellite which can be placed at a minimum level. Then it
Okay.
goes to medium Earth orbit, higher Earth orbit, and geosynchronous Earth.
So now my second question is these like let's say I'm a student who's launched this CubeSat. So how do I communicate with it? What does it tell me anything, or like how do I monitor where it is?
Yes, yes. So there is a GPS. There are three main things which should be there in a CubeSat. First thing is GPS.
Uh huh.
Okay. Second thing is radio.
Wow.
And third thing is ADS. ADS is nothing but a stability factor, how much it is moving and all.
Right.
So GPS gave us the coordinates. Okay.
Right.
And radio systems are now interlinked. So you can link with one of the satellites and you can go through the ground stations. Ground
Okay.
stations are available by the ISROs or some of the space organization. So you have to just put the frequency to it
Uh huh.
and you will get your all data at once.
Right.
Like that, there are more opportunities for the students right now to make space
Wow.
industry booming.
Wow. I had no idea all this was going on. I thought only ISRO sent things up to space in India and nobody else.
No,
Wow.
no, there are many companies. In my friendhoods, there are many more where they will be sending this year. So soon
Wow.
we need a good space industry right now. Yeah, everyone starts from the low,
Right.
but if you give opportunity and if you give a good base to a person, he will boom the industry, whichever industry it will.
So now coming back to your startup, so are you catering to these CubeSat students, or or you're catering to other space related companies in India, or
It's like we designed it, we make it,
no?
and now we are. There is a time. It's not like you can launch a CubeSat every month. The time period of the CubeSat is very low actually in
Right.
India
No.
because for if you want to start with a startup, like if you want to launch your CubeSat from the startup,
Hmm.
so not every startup make rockets every month. It's ISRO who is making, but ISRO is an expensive thing because
Right.
they are launching big satellites.
Right.
So yes, so it will. We are in the line, but soon we will launch our CubeSat, and you will get to know.
So who? Maybe I didn't understand this correctly. There's all these students who are making these CubeSats, right? And so uh, who is launching it 150 kilometers up for them?
Oh,
Is,
okay, yes. So there are many space startup programs for the students. Like there are space startup programs. Like if you send the description of your project to them, they will shortlist some of them, and they will try to launch from somewhere else, like out of India.
right.
Because out of India, there are more startups who are into the space organizations, and they are launching the rockets right now
Got it.
at Leo Earth orbits.
So,
So they approach them.
so
So there are
these third parties can be private companies or even government agencies.
yes, yes, yes,
Either or.
yes.
Okay. But in India, there's only the one, right? The ISRO is the only government agency.
Yes,
And
there
then,
is only one now, ISRO, but there are one more company, Skyroot. It's an space startup company,
but
Skyroot.
it's a private company.
It's
Okay.
a private. It's a
Yeah.
private
Yeah.
company. Yes.
Wow. Skyroot. Okay. I had no idea.
It's okay.
Yeah. Tell me about the early days you had with your company. Um,
Yes, yes.
uh, uh, can you describe how you sort of got going? Was it just a one-person thing in the beginning, or did you have friends from college also who joined?
Uh, so the three founders we were the friends in the college. Okay, we
Yeah.
started as a educational thing, as I already told you.
Uh-huh.
Then we had our computers, our laptop. We have always researching and developing something. Then what we see that we can make business, we can make market in the space agency. We can have a market in every domain. So like that, we started with 3D printers. The
Okay.
first business model was 3D printers. So make a model in a laptop or in a computer, and we will build up in the 3D.
Right, right. Yeah. So,
Okay.
where did you get the 3D printed? I'm guessing I had to get it from abroad, right?
Yes. It's like nowadays, uh, after like talking about like previous 1 year, it was very difficult to get one of the 3D printers, but now there are more people who are selling it as a third party. But at our earlier days there
Right,
was very much
right.
low market in this. So if you got anything error in your 3D printer, you have to fix it on your own. If you get
Right.
anything problematic in that, you have to import that from somewhere like
Right.
China or Hong Kong.
Oh
But
wow.
nowadays it's very much common like that.
Okay.
But at earlier it was very hard.
Yeah,
So
I can imagine. Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Especially because first of all, you have to buy it, pay the custom duties, God knows what all that part, and then like the servicing of it, right? You need the day-to-day equipment, parts, this, that. If it something breaks down, then who will fix it? Where do you get that part? Oh my God. That's an idea for a startup to have that kind of 3D printing uh,
yes.
sort of.
So yes, yes, it's like we are in the rocket model or a CubeSat model. Okay, we are
Huh.
designing it, but how to make it in 3D? We were just thinking on that thing, like how we'll make it 3D.
Right.
Then we go to the one of the manufacturing plant.
Hmm.
They were like, it will take 30 days. It will be 30,000, 50,000, like
Right.
that.
Right.
And we were like, we will like just we are just prototyping, and we can't give 50,000 like
Right.
at initial phase. So then we decided, let's have a 3D printer. Okay. Then we got a 3D printer, and in the at that time there were very low 3D printers. So outside peoples are also coming like, can you build for us? Can you build for
Right.
us?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like that we got an opportunity, like can we can make business in 3D models also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we try to import more 3D printers like that.
So, can I ask where you got them from? China or USA or China?
Yes, yes. China is a actually, what can I say? Like China is a base of 3D printers.
Right,
The major 3D printers are from China.
right.
Yes.
Wow. So, but if I may ask now, I'm guessing a 3D printer, even a low level one was quite expensive. So,
Ye-
how did you guys, finance it? Not just the 3D printer, but your
ye-
entire startup. Did you get
Okay.
funding or?
No, we are bootstrapped actually. We were
Okay.
bootstrapped. So how we started gaining money from the educational sector. First of all, we were trying to make learn students how to build,
Right.
and they give the money, like they give economic things
Hmm.
very freely. Like it's
Hmm.
like they get the data, they get the knowledge from us, and they like the knowledge. So from there we have saved the money. Okay, then we started to investing some of the things like 3D printers. From one 3D printer in by doing businesses, we have buy four 3D printers right now. Okay, in the
Nice.
market. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. So we never gone for any investment till now, because
Right, right,
what
right.
we think.
Yeah, you can just grow organically that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
what we think, if we take money, or if we take funding at an initial phase, you will take money at an every level. Like you will take money funding at ideate level, you will take money at prototyping level, you will take money at marketing level.
yeah,
It's not how thing works. Like you can't take money every time you want. You have to struggle. You have to make money also
right,
when you have nothing.
right.
So like that we grow up now.
Nice.
And yes, yes. So from 3D printing, we started to selling components. So okay,
Right.
so the journey toward components was, after doing graduation, we are like full of knowledge with sensors.
Hmm.
Like we need sensors. So like there were no sensors available in India, so we tried to import or from anywhere else. So what we see, like we get the connection with the dealers, the worldwide dealers.
Okay.
We get connection with the dealers. So it's like, yes, so we can make the market also here also.
Hmm.
So we started importing sensors here too. So first we got 3D printers, now we got sensors like
So,
that.
so this sensor thing is you're basically importing to India from other countries and selling to customers in India, and you're providing that service to them. Great, great. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and then I suppose also after sales service as well. Like if the sensor breaks down, you fix them or whatever.
Yes, yes.
Great.
So it's like we were thinking, then we got an idea like we can do this thing also. Like
Right.
that, it was not a flash. We were
Right.
learning and we were getting.
No, what you're describing is absolutely perfect example of adapting and, growing as you see the market and, adapting to the where you can make money and where you can provide value to the customer. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a perfect example. Yeah.
The- Then what we see is like peoples are now making drones.
Right,
Drones are very much an hype up thing right now. So
right,
uh, our main subject was an UAV in our whole BTech.
right.
So we know how an drone works, how aerodynamics or how physics works on it. So then we started in the drone businesses. So the major hype up or major development in our company was from the drone till it's a drone. Okay. So we try to give end to end solution to the peoples right now. Okay. And we are trying more and more things right now in the drones. So how we learn, how we work here, like that, we only
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
learn
yeah.
something and just adapt to it and just make it. That's it.
That's exactly it. That's just the way. So often startups have this set formula in their mind that okay, I'll do this, then I have to get all this $1 million of funding and this and that. But why? You can do like this and grow it organically. Yeah. I mean, obviously, funding is good also. I'm not against it, but what I'm saying is, at the same time, do go where you're pleasing the customers and getting the revenue. Yeah.
Funding is a very good thing at a good level, if I say.
Yes, at a certain stage.
Uh, yes. If we say now, if a new startup is coming to a market and if it's taking funding, so he will take everything. If he doesn't need it, he will take that thing too because he
Yes,
has money.
yes,
But if you are in market for with the experience level, after that you get a funding, you will know where to buy it, how much to buy it, and from where to buy it. So that's the best thing if you have a funding at a right stage.
right,
So we are still in the learning phase. We are learning how things work, how drones work, like that. Still we are learning. So we set it the mind we should be bootstrap company. We
right.
shouldn't take funding at that level. Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's perfect. That's so. Tell me now about a little bit about the people. Like you said, there were three friends who started. Did you hire more people? How did that go? Did you have challenges there? Um,
Yes, we had challenges there also.
of course.
So the first challenge was we were startup and we were investing money in our company, not on ourselves right now.
Right.
Still right now. Okay, see, so we don't take any shares. So whenever we try to hire some people, there are very good people who want to work with startup. They work with us till now. We have 7 people on board. So we don't take any money from the company because it's an ideate level or a prototyping level.
Oh,
Whenever we start it to a marketing or product level, we will distribute the money. That's how we are going right.
so are you giving them equity? I guess,
Right
or
now, they are working as a free just for the
they
excitement level in the
experience?
company.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So at a starting level, what we face the challenges like we need money, we need a perfect money to work. That's it. So, but the problem, it's like we were bootstrap company. We were a startup. We can't give a certain amount of money every month because we also don't know where, like at which time we are going to invest in where, like that.
Right.
So it's a very difficult thing to give money every month to the interns at a very initial level.
Right.
So we try to hire that type of people who want to participate in this startup world and want to make it more advanced and more development stage.
Right.
So like that we have 8 members of team right now.
Did you have problems where you hired someone and they ended up not being good enough or competent enough, and then that kind of problem, or
Yes, we have that type of people too. Like they were like they just want an experience in their resume
resume?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
No,
people's come like that.
No, the reason I ask is I personally had tremendous problems in that area. See, my thing is different, right? Because it's an app, it's a smartphone app. There's no manufacturing as such, and but so it's all programmers and programming, and so I have to pay them and all of that. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. And then what's interesting is I've the other startup founders that I've interviewed, same, had tremendous problems with the people they hired, and in some cases they got really badly hurt because of the
Yes,
people.
some are like they will work like they know little much, or it's like their work is not very much good in our field,
Right.
like that, which make its incompatibility in our startup.
Right. So can you tell the viewers about what you might recommend to handle this problem? Like how do you uh,
have have
yeah,
a
good.
proper task toward your employee, and make a report every week. Have a meet every week or every day, it's if possible.
Right.
Like, you should know what that employee is doing, what that intern is doing daily.
Right.
Is that any growth he is making? Software or development may take times, we know, but what are the errors they are making? That should be also mentioned in that meeting, like what you were facing as a problem, where you were stuck, and what was your daily report, how much you are giving to your project, or how much you are giving to the task. So this thing should be noted down on the daily basis, which will make help to know that employee better. I will
Right.
say like that.
Right. Yes. 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 Um, how about a way to hire them so that you hire the good person in the first place and eliminate the bad candidate? Like the interview process, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes, interview process. So we never, there is one thing in my startup, we never have written in it that you have to be a graduate person, you have to be a PhD person, you have to be this person. But I only, it's like the way they talk, the way they talk on their project, the way they talk on their aerospace journey, the way they talk about their domain, that makes me make an idea that how that person is and how the person is working on that, the approach of that field.
Right.
Like that we take, because there was a student of ninth standard. He is a brilliant ninth standard. Yes,
Yeah.
he want to. He was so much energetic. He read books daily on the space explorations. He has a good idea of quantum mechanics,
Wow.
and it's like, boss, you are doing very good thing in this, and he is like, people are not giving me opportunity. I want to share some of my knowledge too.
Right.
The peop- the, s- the rejection was only one thing. He was not graduate, but his knowledge towards the space was beyond graduation,
Right.
like that.
Wow. But still, with someone like him, you'd have to get the parents' permission and all that, right? Because
Yes,
he's
yes,
under
yes, yeah.
18.
That's yes, yeah. That's the one thing. That's the one thing we always take on that.
Wow.
But yes, the people with this enthusiasm makes
Wow.
more like you should work more in the space industry, and there is something like I am beyond, like I'm lacking in something that this guy is making that much progress in this space.
Wow, yeah. No, not even space. Like, I'm sure there are brilliant nine standard students who are interested in, say, programming or electronics, but they're probably running into the same problem where, and that would be so good for them to get the practical experience because school and textbooks and all that is one thing, but to actually work at a company and understand everything and actually practically build something that gets used is a whole other thing. So, wow, that's good. And what I'm really happy to hear about that is not just that this ninth standard kid was so good, but also that he got the chance to work with you, and now he's going to be more developed because of that. Like so. Wow. So, how about that was about people. How about third parties? Like, do you interface with, like, do you have suppliers, I suppose, or uh, This thing,
See,
yeah,
yes, yes. So see, we can't have everything in the one house. Okay, so we believe on that thing. So what we did, like we approaches many startup like us, like someone is making PCB designing or printed board circuits, or someone is in
right,
different domains. Like that, we approach, we collaborate. So what I feel like in startup, there should be collaboration and there should be a personal understanding to work with everyone.
right,
That will make a very good ecosystem in the startup. Uh, I believe the startup organization shouldn't be a competitive organization. It should be a collaborative organization. It should help everyone to make a growth in the field.
right.
Like that, we should work.
Yes, yes. But how did you, again, the same question with this people, how do you determine who's good third party, like printed circuit board supplier, right? So who's the good one, who's the bad one, who you should go with, who you should avoid, right? So
Yes,
same
we
process,
stuck
right?
in the yes. So it's like we were in initial phase. We had many startup we were working with, but some of them run behind or runs behind the money, or
Right.
there is a thing like a trust issues. Like
Absolutely.
he's what I was saying, he's making something else and giving me, and that was not compatible with me, and I trusted him. I gave him everything, but he has disrespect my work. Like that, I have faced some of the issues,
Right.
but at the end I got some of the persons who are very good and who are
Right.
a trustable market in the startup, and we recommend that thing to everyone, like you can go to this. So these things work. Like if you say to me like this software company is making these things, and this
Right.
software company is a very good software company, he is
Right.
working hard toward it, so your opinion will matter me
Correct.
as a startup.
Like
Like that,
recommendation.
yes, recommendations.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we grow.
But even that sometimes doesn't work. Like in my case, I gave some programming work to a third party and I went to them via recommended people, right? And I basically got cheated, lost a lot of time and money, right? And it was a horrible experience. And so I guess, it's tough, even though you do your homework and you try, if the person is a cheater, then it's very tough. The only reason I'm asking all these is I'm trying to help our viewers because most probably a lot of my viewers are going to be people who are either doing a startup or are thinking of doing a startup. So trying to help them like so that they get the answers to these kind of things and then they don't run into these problems themselves. Um, that's what I'm trying to do with this channel: educate and inform and advise and kind of help. But yeah, I mean that's it's challenging, and especially in India, I think, because the legal system doesn't help much, and the atmosphere isn't quite the set up for business to move smoothly as much as say America or Europe.
In India, what I have seen is like l- people organization need competitive things. Like I should be the best, so I will drag him down. Like that, things are working here, and because of that thing only the market has become very bad in certain part that you have experienced. Uh, so sometimes I would say like there is the one thing is trust, what we have to gain from as a supplier, as a manufacturer. What I will say, like first thing always give assured to the customers, like at this particular time you will get this product only, and whatever you have said I will provide you that only. Like that, I believe market should go. But there are some peoples who are trust not trustworthy, and they
Right.
disrespect the market and disrespect the customer base. So they just run behind the money. But for that thing you just need an intense that he is not good or he is not bad,
I,
and you will learn this thing by learning from the market.
yeah. Right, like I've learned from that experience, and when I look back on what happened to me, I realized that oh my God, it was obvious. I should have exited with a small loss early as opposed to trying to make it work and then end up making a big loss, you know. And then not only that, I should have insisted. See, you know, in my case, what happened, this person was full of excuses, master of excuses, right? And then I believed them because I was sent to him from a known trusted person or source, right? So I thought that I could trust this person and that these were actually genuine problems or whatever that were happening. But then ended up that, you know, it was probably a combination of incompetence as well as dishonesty, you know, a combination of both. And and it's like you have to have that discipline to just exit. You know, once it's like obvious ki, okay, this is bad, I have to leave, then you have to take that loss and leave. And at least for me, I found that was difficult because you know, I had this hope going on my head. Okay, if I give him a little more time, if I do this, if I do that, if I give him this document, maybe I'll get something in return. But of course, that never happened.
That's
Oh
very
man.
sad to hear that. Very sad to hear that. But
Yeah.
yes, you will get that instance like there is something fishy going around there,
Yes.
and it should, yeah. So I would suggest that thing if you are good in market, you will get that instance like there is something bad is going there,
Yes. You have
and
to
you
listen to your gut feeling. You know, your instinct.
yes. And what I will say to everyone like like this type of market, you have to sometime lose somewhere to just have an experience like
Yes.
you shouldn't do that same mistake ahead in your life.
Absolutely. That's what's happened now. Now I'm an expert in spotting these kind of situations, but unfortunately I had to pay that very big price to learn it. Which is why I'm trying to do this. You know, I'm actually going to make a single video where I just speak to the camera, where I'll talk about this entire way I was, you know, basically cheated, and also come up with all the warning signs that you should look out for. So, you know, if this is happening, that's a red flag. If this is happening, that's a red flag. If he says this, that's a red flag. Like that, I'm going to make a video just on that, and I hope that that will help people, you know, to avoid this kind of a thing. But anyway, so tell me, you know, now this is a question I have for you, which is something that most software people will not run into, which is sort of your infrastructure setup, right? Because you're actually manufacturing things, you have 3D printers. So I guess you have some sort of a, you know, unit or you know, more than just an office where people sit, but also kind of a manufacturing facility. So did you have anything to say about that? Some advice on that? When like you have to probably go out and find a space, right, and then put stuff there and all the electricity, this, that, whatever regulations. This is something typically a software company will not have to deal with. And even if they do have an office, it'll just be people coming and sitting and working on their computers, right? So it's not a manufacturing thing. So you know, please tell us about that.
Yes, total. This is the one thing people always talk about me, like what to do with the spaces, like
Right.
how we can deal with the spaces thing. So right now, startups have a very good opportunity for to do their workspace in incubations. So there are
Oh.
many incubation drives running in India.
Huh.
Like there are 50 plus incubation drives, and if you are good in something, you will get accepted, you will get your space. So what is the benefit in incubation? You know, you get spaces. Okay, you get spaces first thing. You can use their faculty and
Right.
facility both. You will get one of the mentor from the incubation drive who can mentor you over your project and everything.
But I'm sorry, but typically at incubators, don't you have limited space? Like, so something like yours where you have three, you know, 3D printers and all, won't that be too big for a typical incubation space?
Yes. Actually, I was not incubated. I got some little space
Huh.
where we started. But as as we know, it's like as we want to start with something, we need space and we need thinking in a one room like that. So at initial phase, you can start with incubation, and if you are expanding, expand at a very good time. don't expand at at starting initial phase, because
Right.
you want to first make your customer base.
Right.
Like if you buy one big place at a very initial phase, you have to also have a load of rentals or some light bills, utility bills. Then you won't have much customers. You can't be more focused on that thing. Like that, there is a very much bad
Right. Right.
um, base going around that in an initial phase. So I will suggest like work from an incubation will be a good thing if you don't have any space.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. 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 But when you, if you do have to get a space, so what is the criteria to look forward to, what to avoid, what to go for, like I think typically what people will go, they'll just think about the price. Okay, this place rent is cheaper, so I'll go there, but that may not be the best idea, right?
No, no, it shouldn't be the best idea. So, first of all, thing you should look what you want to include in your workspace. Like, if you are taking very big space and you have employee of five, like that it won't work. You should have a proper planning, like
Right.
how much people you want to take in, what is your starting investment, what you want to put in. Like if you have two printers and some of the computers, like 5 6 computers, so that much space you have to take it in your mind and plan for it. Start from start you have to plan for a startup to
Right.
make a grow. Okay, so that's the one thing. And second thing, it's not about cheap or something, but you should look on your convenient, because you have to travel daily.
Right, of course. And if there's a lot of traffic like in Mumbai, oh my god.
like
you know
like you are living like 5 6 kilometers away just because the rental was very low, and in rainy you are facing challenges
right.
for local. There is a lot of traffic and there is a delay, so you can't compromise in time in during your initial phase of startup. So try to find something which is very convenient to transport. So that is the second thing. And third thing is make less use of electricity. Don't have a hi-fi, like you just need a AC. You had an office, you need to have a AC. You need to have ton of lights. You need to have showcases. You just needs to
Right.
work there
Right.
at a starting phase. You don't have a corporate office like
Right.
TCS or anything. Like you have to be a very good thing
Right.
like
Right.
that. So these are the three things I would suggest if anyone is looking for the space.
Absolutely.
Be more convenient, be more economical. It should be economical. It should be easy for transport, and it should be near to something like a bus stop or a
Right.
railway station. It like that. It should be easy to convenient to transport.
To yeah, to travel. Yeah. Um, no, that's great advice. Yeah, that's perfect. So let's turn to something else that also a lot of startups run into, and a lot of people don't consider this in the beginning, which is legal stuff. So, did you have any legal issues, copyright, trademark, that sort of thing? Any, or just doesn't really matter?
Okay, yeah. So at starting phase, we want to run a company. Okay, so we started to learn what a company needs. So at so we have to try to talk to our friends like who is in compliance businesses or something else, that what should we need in a business to run with a legality. So there are ton of things we were looking into it. There is a trade license, there is NOCs, there is something else, but we didn't face any
NDA.
issue. So we didn't face any issue during our startup because we started with our legalities.
Right.
So as we started with legalities, like we need to be incorporate properly.
Right.
We need to have proper license. We need to have proper trademark. We need to have proper copyright toward our logo. Like that, it should be goes, because one mistakes and a ton of loss is there.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Legal is a very bad one in that sense because once you've made the legal mistake, you can't fix it. Like software, you can rewrite the code, but you can't rewrite a legal mistake. If you made the legal mistake, then that's it. You have to pay for
Yes,
that.
yes, totally.
Yeah. So
So these are the some things like a startup should take care in the legalities part, and also they should know about their proper benefits also. There are
right.
some of the benefits, like some of the startup just they registered and just they forgot. There are some of the benefits the startups have got.
Like the government of India registration startup. Even I have that actually. So
Okay, so
yeah.
yes, yes. So in during your DPIIT, that is Startup India registration, there is 70% of fees way off on patent registration. There are 50% fees way off on trademark registration. Like that, there are ton of benefits. Like
Right.
if you have a proper 80 exemptions, so you can claim that for 3 years that there is tax exemption on the
Tax exemption.
startups.
Yeah.
Yes, so there are some of these things also shouldn't be neglected during startup.
But although now that you mention that, just to let you know from what I looked into on the tax exemption part, you have to do huge amount of filing to actually get that tax benefit, and that filing can run to a lot of money apparently. So I so, so it's not quite that straightforward. But yes, yes, I mean there's definitely all these options and benefits and whatnot you can definitely go for, at least, or at least try to go for. Maybe it doesn't work out, but
So
um,
first to step into the startup, you should know the privilege, the things you should go through,
right.
the legalities and everything which has to be we have to face to it. So like that we have to be going to.
Right, but for a typical person, that may not be that easy. Like I personally, I had reached out to an advocate and tried to get his advice, and then just like anything else, an advocate can be good or bad. So, someone who knows nothing about these legal matters, if he gets a not very good advocate, then I think that person can run into a lot of these kind of problems. Uh, to an extent, that happened to me. I won't say it was as bad as the development mess that I had to deal with, but also there was some issues around the quality of legal advice I got, and then because of that, there were challenges and whatnot. So, yeah, yeah. Did they? Can you? Were there any unexpected issues that came up? Like you set a plan, you kind of were moving towards it, and then something just completely left field happens. I mean, obviously there was COVID, and definitely speak to us about COVID and how that affected your startup and your everything. But also besides COVID, that type of kind of unexpected thing that just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, okay, now you have to just deal with it somehow.
Yes, I faced one of the unexpected things that is related to my payment options. Like startups are very much faced through the payments option. Like we have delivered you services, we have
Right,
done everything, then we have to run behind the payments. We are the person running behind the payments to
right,
get that payment. So there was one of the company, I won't name it. So I gave them the service, product, everything.
right,
Then they are like, we will give it, we are processing it,
right,
we are so how they works, the person who are dealing is different,
right,
the person who is giving the money is different. So in big organization there is a thing called as processing the
right,
whole thing. So that we will send the invoice, the invoice will send to the accountant will send to that physical person who is looking into it, like he has done everything good or not.
right.
Then the invoice will send to the CEO. Then the CEO will approve. Then
Uh,
again it will checked. Then it will go to the accountant. Then I will get the money.
and that is in a situation where they are honest. It's just that bureaucracy that we are talking about. And then of course there's the dishonest ones that don't plan to pay you. And I'm sure you ran into those too, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So it's like in my phase of time, the head was out of the town,
Oh
and
no.
he and when head was
Right.
here, the accountant was out of the
Right.
town. Like that,
So, but
it was.
speak to me. No, this is okay. This is bureaucracy, red tape,
Okay.
whatever. Fine, but at
Yeah.
least you will eventually get paid. There's just delay.
Yeah.
But what about
Yeah.
situations where they are dishonest and they don't plan to pay you at all? So,
So
yeah, go
till
ahead.
till now, I didn't face that type of issues, but I'm well prepared for that.
Okay.
So it's like who we do B2B for now, and
Oh,
B2C are very much low on our market.
right,
So on B2B, we first inquire, we just take look of that company, he is legal or not. See, honesty, we can't judge it from the website or something. Honesty, we can judge after the service or after the payment or after he get the reviewed.
right.
So that's one thing like I didn't face till now, but yes,
No, that's
I
good.
can't see that thing like if he is honest or not.
Right, right.
So
And this isn't something you face in other countries, but this is unfortunately a problem typical of India. But in a previous podcast that I had with another founder, so he had these issues, and the way he dealt with it was he would do a court case against them, or start and threaten them that okay, fine, look, I'm going to take you to court, and then they would give up because they didn't want to
mm,
deal with all of that. So then they just give him his
mm,
payment, and that was one way he managed to get out of it. But he was also running into these kind of problems. Fortunately for me, and at least this side of it is a little simple for me because I have an app, right? So in that, even though I don't have any ads on my app, there's no ad
mm,
revenue, but there's still like people have to make payments, and then it's kind of inbuilt, and then if they don't make the payment, they can't move forward. So
yeah. So,
it kind of I'm not going to run into too much of those kind of problems. Fortunately, um,
uh,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, it's like this court case is like we are the one who are giving the service and we are the one who are struggling with it.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, but unfortunately, that is the challenge you face.
Yeah.
Even American companies or European companies face that, but to a much lesser extent. But in
Yes.
India, it's a much greater extent.
Yeah.
There's always going to be dishonest people everywhere, not just India. But uh, I was just mentioning that because he found a way of dealing with it and solving it by just threatening to go start the legal process, and then usually the other party would cave in. So maybe
Yeah.
that's something that will help you if you ever run into this
Yes.
problem, which I hope,
Yes.
of course,
Yes.
you
Totally.
never run into. But let me move on to a tangent and a different topic on the world of startups, which is how this has affected your personal life and your health, your fitness, and so on. Because uh, even if things go relatively smoothly and you don't run into these kind of major obstacles, it's still very very stressful, right? And it's you just kind of have to deal with it. Every day is different. Like back when I worked, and I coming from a different era. See, when I had graduated from with college, the word startup didn't exist. You'd say the word startup, and
Yeah.
people would, what does that even mean?
Yes.
Back then, the big thing was you join some big company like IBM or something, and then
Mm.
you rise up the ranks there. That was the goal. Nowadays, the goal, of course, is you do a startup and become a billionaire. So, so I actually ended up working at various companies in the US for many years. And of course, while it's not as exciting as a startup and all of that, you do have a rhythm in your life, right? You go, you do your work, and then you come home, and then after that, your time is
Mm.
yours, and you don't have to worry about anything else. You can do productive things if you want to, or you can go and work out, or you can do whatever. But in a startup world, it's everything's different. Like today I'm doing this podcast with you, whereas tomorrow I will not be doing a podcast. I mean, I'll be doing something else. So it's all different. There's no regularity.
Perfect schedule.
Yeah, the
Perfect
regularity is not there.
regularities are not
Yeah.
there.
So, and then that kind of makes things difficult because then, like let's say I go to the gym at 6 p.m. So now tomorrow I have some meeting at 6 p.m. So now I can't go to the gym. Yeah. I mean, so how, and then not, that's just the regularity part. And then there's also just the stress, if these kind of bad things happen and you lose money or whatever, some customers not paying you, etc., etc. So, can you speak to that? How stressful has it been? Has it affected your personal life much?
Yes, it was affecting me. What was happening, um, every enthusiast person won't stop doing anything. Like
Of
he
course.
will do, he will do, he will do. So at back of the mind should also get rest. The body should also get rest. It should be get rest. So at I was facing some of my issues related to the mental thing. So what was that was I was getting regular headaches. So then it was like one day I can't get up. One day I can't get up actually due to that headache and everything. Then I went to the hospital and it's like you are a serious patient for hypertension. You are a serious patient of this. You have to take this medicine. So after then I realized that you have to give time to yourself too in
Right.
during a startup time too. So then I decided like how much a startup should need. Like 8 hours, 9 hours, yes, it's okay. You have to be a perfect schedule. You shouldn't run behind the schedule, off the schedule. Like there shouldn't be a much of thing in your schedule. It should be limited. It should be fruitful. It should be worth making. Like that, uh, I decided to go with it. Yes, but the personal things can't be scheduled in the startup that I have seen in.
Right.
That's one of the gym, uh, dinner, lunch, like that. This is the thing which can't be scheduled in your startup. But yes, you need to get rest in your startup. So be get rested. Don't work way too much beyond your limits. That will affect you too much. That I have faced. You not everyone should face that thing in the life which I have faced. Like everyone has its own capabilities to do work, but every human has its own limits to do or think
Right. Right.
on something. So
You know
do
this.
accordingly. Yes,
This is
yes.
such a common theme with startup people. Like I've spoken to every podcast I've done with founders. I've asked them this, and it's always been the same. Like it's affected them. And that you're talking about the health. How about your relationships with your friends, your family? Has that deteriorated because of this, or right? Because you're
It
not
it
available,
was.
right?
It
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
So and
Yes.
go ahead, sir.
No, no, no. I was saying like yes, it got deteriorated.
Yeah,
Then we can't like.
yeah,
I would say. Uh, I was in the startup journey and I was liking it too much. So I was basically into my laptop or into something which is related to my startup, and I can't receive any phone calls,
right.
anything related to it, and so yes, that's affecting my social life too.
Yeah, no, so, the reason I bring all this up is again for the viewers. So, obviously, to warn them that, hey, make sure that you have your personal life. Like the advice I give them is make sure you eat clean, like, have some regular exercise, have supportive people that you have in your life, whether they're family or friends. But did you have any advice for people to overcome this part of it, the stress, the worry, the tension, the way it affects your personal life?
Uh, what I will suggest to everyone, it's like go do your work, everything, do your everything you want to, but spend some time with someone who make you feel relief,
Yeah,
like who can make you feel more relaxed, like friends,
right.
good friends who can understand that you are busy but you need it at some time to get relief.
Right.
The family, you should spend family time, because what is happening, too much technological thing can make you more stressful on it, because you won't stop thinking. You won't stop
Right.
thinking. Like
Right.
you will keep going on, going on, going on with it, and it won't. It's like limitless. What you are developing your app
Right.
every day. You will think like we should do this, we
Right.
should do that, we should we should upgrade, we should fix the bugs, and it is endless process.
Yes. Yes.
We will think,
So you have to have the
but
discipline to say,
yes,
okay, this is the stopping point now. Like
yes,
I have
this
to
is the
stop for
stopping
the
point.
day.
Yes, you should enjoy your weekend too. You should go to the parties too, because not you should be a start. You are a startup. You are not a machine.
Right. It's just that this the problem is the startup demands so much of you, and then you have generally have limited money, so you have to do it yourself. You can't hire someone, and then because of that, then you just have too much going in your plate. You're doing everything, and then that affects you negatively. So but the trick, as you're saying, is just have the discipline to say, okay, now I have to stop for the day. Even though this and this has yet to be done, we still stop for the day and we'll do all of that tomorrow.
Yes,
Even
that's the
though,
best way I can see to everyone.
right, right. But how about things like, exercise or stuff like that? Um,
Go to sleep early
right,
and wake up to bed early. Like
okay,
that, we should 7 to 8 hours sleep is enough for
right,
a normal human.
right,
You should sleep by 11. It's
right,
a very good time. 11 to 12 is a very good time to sleep, and wake up by 7 to
right,
8 is a very good start. So you shouldn't be start working from 8. You should give your time to heal your body by working, by exercising.
right,
Uh, at morning time, which I was not making at previous time, and I was doing just walk, walk, walk. That was a very bad thing.
right,
So as a struggler, I can suggest someone what to do and what
right.
not to do.
Okay, great. So before we start winding down this, any plans for the future for your startup? I mean, obviously, we don't want you to give any secrets or anything like that away, but do you have anything you can share with us on how what your next steps are?
So my next step is to expand in the manufacturing side,
Okay.
and the or research side. So right now we need development, more and more economical. So we are in that phase, and we will soon expand. We will soon manufacturing more products into the market for aerospace industry, in drone, in cubesats, in UAVs, everywhere. So yes, were some of the plans for mine toward the startup. Yes.
Yeah. 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 No, no problem, no problem. So what the question I was asking you is, do you have plans to maybe uh, provide products and services to foreign countries and foreign clients? Uh, and no, that was the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. 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 So we have plans for import and export of the things,
Huh.
but we are still developing phase, as I said.
Okay.
So as we go toward the product side, as we make our own product completely functionably, adding customer base and all. So yes, we are planning for the importing and
Yeah, no, my question was more geared towards like, do you think in supplying to the Indian market's going to be the bigger thing, or maybe foreign markets isn't going to be the bigger thing? And I,
maybe India, because
okay,
India needs
right,
thing.
okay,
It's like in outer side, drones are very common. In
right,
India, drones are not very common. So
right,
everyone needs a drone. So
got
we are
it.
looking into that we can provide drones to every customer in India who are.
Talking about drones, I think Amazon, at least in the US, I think they're already doing this where they're delivering your package to you via a drone. And that if that happens in India, then there'll be huge demand for drones, just for the delivery industry alone. Forget about the rest of it. Wow. So
still planning on delivering through drones because there are some of the safety concerns regarding the drones,
Right.
how they will fly. Because in India, there are open wires, there are cable wires, there are very much
Yes.
crowdy birds
Yes.
or
Right.
everything
Right.
else. So
Yeah.
it's become very much difficult. And major cities has airports. Major cities has airports. So
Yeah.
there is a regulation in drones, like we can't fly drones near 8 kilometers of airport, like that. So
Wow.
there are many limitations on drones. So
Okay.
still everyone is working on it, and
Right.
soon there will be a solution, and soon India will also launch their
Wow. That'll be something. So, just to wind up, do you have any final advice to our viewers? Anything you want to say to someone dreaming of launching a startup?
Yes, sure. So it's like having a startup so should have enthusiast over something, over your sector. The first thing is that. Second thing, plan for your startup very well. Like there is legalities, there is space issues, there is hiring issues. So you should be planned for it because something we should be pre-prepared from it.
Right.
Like we should be know that these things will going to happen, like hiring will happen, we will find the space, we want to expand, like these things we should always plan, and we should always be prepared for it. This is the one thing I will say to the viewers, to your viewers who are going to start an organization or a startup. And also be honest and trustworthy toward your domain, and make your startup more collaborative to the market. It shouldn't be competitive, as I said, because mm, one startup can't hold a whole sector. A group of startup may. So it would be a great that startups should work together, because one may be in good in 3D printing, or one may be good in software designing, one may be good in web development. Like that, if you collaborate, you can make one new product. Like that, it should be more collaborative. This is the third thing I would say. And fourth thing is your health. Like you should give your time to the startup, but you should be a healthy person to make your startup grow.
Right.
If you're not very healthy, how can you think well?
Right. Right.
That's the one thing. And give time to everyone. Like you have to give time to your family, you have to give time to your startup, you have to give time to your friends. Schedule for it. Everything is possible in the scheduled time. Yes, it may be irregular in schedules, like up and down, but you should adjust. So this is the final thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I mean, that was just very, very informative, very interesting. I learned so much about this student CubeSat stuff that I never even thought was going on. So that's just very, very good. I'm sure the viewers will love this podcast. So thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again. And thank you. Bye bye.